Hello and welcome to the NFL pregame show for tonight's NFL kickoff of the Broncos and Ravens. I got guest stars Dylan and Josh here, and we are here to talk about the first NFL game of this year's regular season. Guys, what are your thoughts? Dylan?
I just want to see the Ravens defense since Ray Lewis and Ed Reed are gone now.
And how do you think that will affect them?
I think they're gonna lose a bit of coverage in the backfield since they lost Ed Reed, and they're still gonna get sacks, but they're not gonna get as much now since they don't have Ray Lewis.
Well, what about T-Suggs?
He's really good, and he's really improving. I think he's gonna do really good tonight.
Josh, what are your thoughts?
Well, mainly, I think I'm looking forward to see how Manning does with Wes Welker in the offense. He already had a ton of weapons last year, but now he has Welker, he has Thomas, he has Ecker. He just has a ton of weapons. I want to see how badly he picks off that Ravens secondary.
Yeah, because the Ravens secondary is very weak at the moment. Well, what I'm
In the
looking for,
Ravens,
well, I'm looking for Ray Rice to have a big day today. He is going to need to take over more because the Ravens do not have as many weapons around them as they did last year. They lost Bolden, Bernard Pollard's out, Ed Dixon is out, Dennis Pitta is out. So all they really have is guys like Brandon Stokely, Dallas Clark, Torrey Smith, and I hope Ray Rice can be good for receptions, but also for the Ravens running game this year. And for the Broncos, I would have to say their running game has to improve. It doesn't look like Monte Ball will be the starter. It looks like they are going to be going with Ronnie Hillman. Josh, Dylan, how do you think this will affect the Broncos running game this season? Josh?
well, I think it's going to be the same as it is every year. They're going to stumble through, get like maybe 2015 ranked running game just because of their pass game. They've never been a great running team. That's some years they've been Louis McGahee, but still man will do anything. So what I think is that they'll do a three-back system with Paul, Tillman, and they'll do that.
Yeah, their running game is not very good in the NFL. Now, Torrey Smith is poised to have a breakout season this year. I have him on my fantasy teams. I'm starting him tonight. I'm hoping he can do well for my team. But I'm also hoping he can have hit one of his best years in the NFL and become a true star in this league. What do you guys think about Torrey Smith and what are your expectations for him this season?
I think that he should do really good because, like you said, they lost Anquan Bolden and a lot of other people, and some people are out. And I just hope that he can have a breakthrough year, and Jacoby Jones should come through in the wide receiver spot.
Josh, your thoughts?
Well, I hate the Ravens, but Torrey Smith is poised to be a star either this year or next year. And about tonight in general, he is going to burn that Broncos secondary. They usually have a pretty good secondary, but Tim Bailey
Champ
has been
Bailey's out.
out tonight.
He's out.
He is their main corner and the leader of that secondary. Without him, I think Corn's going to light them up. And this year, I think he get a good 1,000-yard season. It'll be amazing, but I think he'll be very, very good.
I think our guest star Dylan just had a revelation about Champ Bailey. Okay, he will be back. Now, what about Joe Flacco? He's coming off a breakout year. He has a fresh new contract. He's one of the highest paid football players in the NFL. How do you think he will fare this season, Josh? Do you think he'll be as good as he was last year, worse, or better, or the same?
Well, and that is what you're talking about. I do not think he's going to do as good as he did in the playoffs last year. I think he will be improved from last year's regular season. He does seem like he's improving a lot as just a great quarterback, actually. I don't know will be an amazing quarterback this year, but he will be good and solid. And probably will be the best quarterback in the AFC North this year.
Do you think he has chances to become a top 5 quarterback, or do you think he is already a top 5 quarterback?
I think soon he could be a top 5 quarterback, but not this year.
Not this year. Like, how many years are you saying?
Probably within the next 3 years, I think he could be that. It really just matters about the weapons around him, because right now all he has is Smith and Jones.
Yeah, that
He
is
got a little
true.
better weapons around him. He can improve a ton.
Now, what about the Broncos front 7? They are straight up bad, for lack of a better term right now. Von Miller is on a 6-game suspension, right?
6 games.
Yeah, 6 games.
6-game suspension for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. And they also lost Elvis Dumervil because of a fax machine error. Their two main guys are out right now. How do you guys think the Broncos front 7 will fare tonight and for the rest of the season?
Well, I think tonight they will have trouble. There's a player you didn't mention, Derek Wolf, their main defensive tackle, is also out tonight. So I think they'll be hard pressed this game. I think if you start getting like 4 games down the road, 6 games, I think they're going to be a very good front 7 down the road this year. But it's going to take a lot of games. I think in week 10 they're going to be back to their standard from last year and be a dominant front 7. But they need Von Miller to get back and to get himself back in those bowl games.
Dylan, what are your thoughts on the Broncos front 7 for now and in the future?
I think for now for this game, they're going to have a hard time without Von Miller. Ray Rice is going to punish them because they do not have anybody in the middle that can take them down. And for the future, I think they'll become better with Von Miller coming back soon. So
That's good. Now, we got anything else to talk about? Well, folks, that is our pregame show. Check back for us for possibly some Browns weekly videos. And we'll see you next time.